What are the shots, Matt?
Well, let's
hold
take them
on,
and find out.
hold on.
I already did that, bitch.
I know, but
You
we're going to
already
do it again
clapped.
because we did a whole bunch of bullshit. So.
Ow.
All right.
Who clapped last?
I don't remember what episode this is. Matt, what are the shots?
Can't do this.
Well, we got to take them first, and then I'll tell you.
You gotta put it between your legs, and then you gotta put your
I had help.
Who clapped last?
Is there shit in the bottom of this? Oh.
Cinnamon.
Oh.
Oh.
Are we sure?
All right. This is episode 30-something of the Last Shot Podcast.
Interesting.
We are taking our first and only shot of the Last Shot Podcast. It's called the Last Shot, but we take the shot first.
Yeah, you're right.
But
the
it is the
last
last shot
one
of the
of
night.
the
Shot
night.
of the night.
Fair
Except
enough.
for that 1 week.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we had about 2 bottles
Let's ignore
All right,
that.
cheers.
on the podcast. Cheers. It's going to be like cinnamon tequila with cinnamon in it.
Yum. Apple spice.
Ooh, that was like an apple pie shot.
was
That
apple
was
pie.
That was
delicious.
an apple pie shot.
I would do that.
It was
I
just
called it
vodka,
from
apple
a mile
juice,
away.
and cinnamon. And I accidentally dumped too much cinnamon in there.
Yeah, you
so
did.
that's why it
Nah.
was sitting at the bottom. But
I could feel it on my
yeah.
teeth.
That
I
was
would do
still
that
good.
every day of the week.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was
Have
real
you had
easy.
the apple pie shots from
Burke's.
Burke's?
Yes.
I
had
always
my
buy the pitcher.
My first one this last weekend. Ooh, those are damn
Those
good.
are
Does
Those
it
are
taste
good.
like an apple
They're
pie?
dangerous first.
And that is the very, very similar to that same recipe that I had made years ago that I had left over in
Oh,
my
yeah, that
fridge.
we did a long
Yeah.
time ago?
Yeah.
Got it.
If you're gonna go by the carafe,
Well,
You
yeah.
get-
That's
Oh, yeah, that's
More
always
bang-
where the value
not
is.
the
more
pitcher.
bang for your buck.
The carafe. Sorry, I
Carafe.
said the pitcher.
Same thing.
But
All right,
Wait,
do we
a
want to start?
carafe of
Always-
the apple pie shots?
Yeah,
or
they do
pitcher,
a
whatever you
craft
want
of
to
it.
call it.
Oh, really?
$9, you get like this much.
it's
versus
it's
like
better because
$4
it's like
for a
$4
shot.
That sounds
a
like a
shot.
good way to get
What's the
fucked up.
the
Oh,
pitcher?
that- that's why
this,
usually-
right? The pitcher's like a
usually-
real small.
It's this about
It's
right
a
here.
it's like a
Usually
coffee
that's
craft.
why I
like
go
a-
there
little-
first.
It's like
crap.
small.
Get my apple pie shots in, then go everywhere
You
else.
get roughly like 5 or 6 shots per carafe
Yep.
for $9. But if you're gonna buy them straight up, it'd be like $4 per shot.
Yep.
So you're saving money big time.
That's what we did.
And I heard they use Everclear.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's probably how.
That's
it's
what
supposed
I
to be done.
used
Yeah.
for when I made it.
Oh,
All right, so I don't know if I should start with my small book or the big book.
big book.
Start
Should
with
we
your
start,
small
start with the big book? All right.
Big book.
or vice versa.
What's in the small one?
The big book only has a
Secrets?
couple things written in it. Yeah, the small book is what I carry with me, so I just
Wait,
write down
oh,
whatever
I have a topic. I don't know if it's in your books, but I do have a
It's
topic.
not. You haven't mentioned it.
So
Let's start
say
with
it.
that, since that's probably the shortest list.
All right, so who's joining in to storm Area 51?
Hey!
Boo.
I forgot that that's topical.
Hey, hold on.
this week.
I really think it's a good way to get the United States into martial law. You get 400,000 people to run into something, kill them all, and then guess what? Oh, you guys are going to kill us? We're in martial law.
You say
So-
that like 400,000 people are going to show
I
up.
have a feeling
right.
Zero,
Right.
exactly
A lot-
zero people are going to show up.
I have a lot of. I have a feeling a lot of people are gonna meet up and be like, "Oh shit, we're here," but no one's
No,
gonna.
yeah.
They're not
Or
gonna get
they'll-
within miles.
yeah,
of
they'll-
that place.
Take
Yeah.
our selfie.
They'll
and
get
let's
to the
leave.
the
Yeah.
first sign that says turn
I think
away
they're
or
meeting
U.S.
up-
government property.
I
or
think they're meeting
whatever.
up in Roswell.
Is that what it is?
So they're meeting close, but I bet they're all just gonna meet up and be like, "Oh, we're here,"
Yeah.
and then no one's gonna
But
make a
Yeah,
move.
nothing
with
will
that
happen.
said,
Yeah.
what if this were to be like something semi-successful, and they were like, "Well, we could do more in
Right.
the future."
I would like
and
to
decided
see
to take over
a bunch of people
bigger
storm
things
it
in the future.
on the news and just watch it live from
Well,
a
You
you know
distance.
that they'll
like,
all die,
"Oh!"
right?
I mean, yeah, they will all die.
I
but
want to know what they would do
That's,
to
I mean,
that's what I'm
stop
saying,
them.
though. That's how you get it into martial law. You kill 400,000 people as the government.
And then what do they
everybody
claim?
goes,
What does the
"Oh,
government claim though?
It doesn't matter.
To declare martial law?
Retaliation is what they're going to declare.
It's not a big enough event for that to be a thing. I
And
mean,
they-
especially a country the size of the U.S.
Yeah.
It's 350 million people.
But
and
they-
and,
2
like,
square
There's
miles,
a million
like-
people actually have pledged to show up.
they
Yeah, they're
replied.
not going to.
no,
the government replied and said, "Don't do it. It's just a like marine training area and this
Air
and that."
Force. Yeah.
But Air Force. But regardless, if people want to do it, all right, go around
They
the
already
room.
moved the aliens to Area 52, so it doesn't matter.
Go around the room. Raise your hand. How many of you believe that there are aliens or something going on at Area 51 that's
There's-
worth checking out?
I think that there is.
No, not
No?
there. No,
Nothing.
because they declassified
I
it.
think so.
If there was something going on, they wouldn't declassified it.
They protect that border like
They
a
didn't
mile and a half
Yeah,
away
everything.
But that's
for
because
no one to
there's,
get in.
there's national security interests there. They're not going to.
Well, it'd be like
for
it'd be like if
Fucking
people
aliens.
got close
No.
to Offutt Air Force Base. Well, that's a place where the president goes to hide.
But
In
you can. That's in
Yeah.
a city. You
Spoiler
can
alert.
go.
You can't get
It's
on
like-
that
that's a
base.
suburban
They already
area.
shot a
But
dude
we can
trying
get
to
within close.
trying to force his way onto Offutt like 2 or 3 years
Okay.
ago.
Right.
They shot
Okay,
him.
but
Like,
but
and that's Offutt. That's not Area 51. Offutt
Right. They'll kill
relatively
you.
is not nearly as well guarded
oh,
as
it's
Area
national
51 is.
security.
I
is what we're
went
talking
there
about.
for my cousin's wedding, and you show up and
Area
say that you're
51.
there for a wedding, as long as you show like the
Yeah.
invite, then they let you in. And you
Okay.
can
Guess
go
what they
s-
don't hold at
wherever
Area
you want.
51? Weddings.
Fucking
Yeah.
weddings.
No, but
Wow.
I'm saying Offutt wise.
Get with the times, Area 51.
I went last summer for
There-
my cousin's wedding.
There is
Right,
100% something that is top secret, classified, something going on at Area 51 that they don't want anyone in the general public or the news or any foreign, I don't know what the right word,
Government.
foreign, yeah, anybody
Entity.
outside of the people that are allowed to know this information. There is 100% something like that going on. Whether it's aliens, who knows? But
There's
I
something.
also feel like if it was something that crazy, someone who had worked on that base would have cracked by now.
yeah,
Well,
like,
so
100%.
there's a guy that Joe Rogan.
How do you know they
retired,
don't
you-
wipe their minds like Men in Black?
Hold
It
on.
could very well
They
be
could.
a thing.
Yeah,
Could
very
be.
well could
You would
be.
never know.
How do you
So-
think the idea came
So,
about?
so who's to say Men in Black's not a documentary instead of a fiction
Very
movie?
true.
I mean,
So, well, no,
We're
right.
creeping down the
So
conspiracy.
Joe
topic
Rogan
line
interviewed
now.
a guy that worked for the government at Area 51 and Site.
Do you
S4.
think it's Americans that work there,
But
or some other
S4
foreign
is
body?
like
No, they're
35
Americans,
miles
most
away
likely.
from Area 51. That's where supposedly they had the aliens, not at Area 51, because they said, yeah, we recognize it. It did take them for frickin' ever to we recognize
well, yeah, they're
it.
waiting for them to move
But-
everything away from
Right. Now it's gone. So
Here's
you're
my
gonna
thought.
storm something.
So-
You're gonna show up and people are gonna be like, y'all are stupid.
If there were aliens, why do you think that would not have been broken into by other aliens by now?
Maybe it has.
Who says it hasn't? Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Have
for
you
that.
ever
I
seen
knew
the
you were
movie?
gonna say
Have
that.
you ever
Hey.
seen the movie Paul?
Why?
No.
Why haven't we been back to
Just
the
the
moon?
monkey at the end of Jimmy Neutron.
There's
that
nothing
says,
else there
"Hi,
for
I'm
us right
Paul."
now.
No.
I mean, there's
There-
still plenty
there's
there,
a
but
movie.
When they
like
landed there before, aliens told them not to come back.
There is a.
the moon landing was a dick measuring contest of the Soviet Union.
Maybe-
we won. They never got there.
That's
The
true.
Cold War ended. We're like, fuck it. We don't need to go back to the moon.
Well, now
Maybe
we're aiming for Mars.
aliens.
Maybe-
now it's a dick measuring
Probably.
Maybe
Moon's haunted.
contest for Mars.
all of Area 51 is run by aliens,
You played Destiny, right?
Maybe.
You know what's going on
Maybe.
on the moon.
and that's why they say don't storm it because it's already controlled by aliens.
So here's the thing with storming it versus going to Offutt for a wedding. There's obviously different connotations there. Going to Offutt for a wedding,
it's-
you prove that you're supposed to be there
One's
by
got
having a
moon,
wedding.
the
It's,
other one
it's,
doesn't.
two,
Storming
it's
it-
two different areas.
Storming it
Storming
is
it,
literally
you're taking it
people.
over.
Have
No,
you
it
seen
is
the
not.
plans? Have
It
you
is.
seen the plans? It literally involves people Naruto running straight at the
Okay.
fence.
But
That's
But
different than
don't
walking
don't
up to the
forget
gate and being
flanks
like,
that are going around the sides.
right,
Yeah.
the
too.
Kyles are on the sides with their lifted trucks. Yeah,
look
we know.
at the
Everybody
location.
knows.
They put Offutt Air Force Base in a city. In the middle
Technically,
of
the
country.
city built up
It
around
is-
Yeah,
the
they
base.
did
it
not
is-
put Offutt in
It
the
is
city.
there though.
Do you
But
understand
you
how
go to
shitty
Area
Bellevue was
51.
until like the 80s?
Bellevue's still shitty.
Well, I mean, okay, maybe.
Not
But
wrong at all.
Bellevue
But
had a
so far
population-
from everything.
Bellevue had a population of less than 10,000
But
until 1980.
I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about now. But look at it now. It's still
There's
out.
nothing
Area
there.
51's out in the middle of the desert.
Okay, so if
Nothing around.
There's
Bellevue.
new stealth
There's people all around.
technology out there. That's probably
Cloaking.
what it is. And then you're gonna storm it for that? Whoa, man, we know
No.
that.
If
more
you
we know,
If you run,
honestly, I think it's fucking stupid.
yeah,
if you
you're
ask
gonna
me.
die.
it's obviously
yeah,
stupid.
no.
Honestly,
It
if you
started
it's
as a
meme.
joke.
It's a meme.
It started
That's
as a
it.
joke,
it's
but
just a meme.
honestly, we're still the U.S. military is still going to have
Oh yeah.
extra support on
Oh yeah.
hand
100%.
on that day. They're
And
going to
if
be
they
like,
would
well,
definitely
they might.
have-
If the people were smart, they would do it like the day before,
day
after,
before.
like
Because they
not
planned it-
on that day.
They
Well, no,
planned
just
it
before.
September 20th at like 3 in the morning
Right.
till 6 in the morning. And I was like, so what? 6 comes around, you're like, okay, we're done.
Well,
Let's
plan
go.
like,
Damn,
well, we didn't
we only
make
got
it.
this far. Darn.
Event
We got to
over.
the
Time to
gate.
go home.
Grab your dead and drag them back to the cars.
All right, let's go.
We're done. We're done. 6 o'clock. We're done.
Sorry,
I
my
just
mom's
imagine
here.
it as in like everybody's like running in, and you just see like the gun shit from like Call of Duty just picking people off.
Yeah. Boom. Somebody's up there with an AC-130. Like,
No,
oh,
no.
shit, you got a 15 kill streak? Fucking
no,
or
no,
10
no,
or whatever
we
it
don't
was.
want this. We're going the other
Yeah.
way.
We're out. We're done. No.
I'll see you at home.
6 o'clock, all their phones are going to go off. Event has ended. It's like, oh,
dang
shit,
it.
well, we got to go.
Yeah.
They're like right there, about to discover something incredible. And
They're
just
literally
like,
they're
oh,
literally
that's
at the
it.
door inside that says aliens inside. They're like, damn, so close.
Or it's like Left 4 Dead style, where it's like, or not Left 4 Dead, The Walking Dead style, where it's like, don't open aliens inside. They're like, well, we can't go in here.
Yep.
We gotta leave.
That's it. Over.
Now, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna run straight at the gates of Area 51, you probably have a better chance of Naruto running, with your arm straight behind you, because the guards on top of the guards on top of the gate are gonna take pity on you for being such a fucking idiot. They're gonna be like, this kid doesn't deserve
They'll
to
wait
die.
1 second longer than fuck.
He needs help.
They'll wait for you to physically run into the fence and fall to the ground. Then they'll shoot you.
As a person
It will
that's
as
true.
if the fence isn't like got 60,000
Electrical,
volts
yeah,
through it.
yeah.
It will
It's
take them
dead
1 second
immediately.
to say what the F and then shoot you.
Yeah.
As a person that shoots guns, please run with your hands behind your back. I got your whole chest and your dome wide open.
At what point
Are
do
you
they start
stupid?
shooting? As you're running at the gate? Do
Yes.
they see you as a
Yes.
threat, or after
When
you
they
get
see you
past
They'll
the
yell.
gate?
They'll yell. No, they'll yell. Like, do not come near the gate. Do not come near. Wham, 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 wham. And then now
See
you
ya,
got
see ya,
people-
see ya, see ya, see ya.
Yeah. Joel's over here
She
dabbing.
gone. She gone. She gone.
Did you see
Bye,
that
bye,
meme
bye,
with
bye,
the
bye,
army
bye,
guy?
bye.
He's like, gotta go to this stupid fucking meeting about storming Area 51.
Yeah, I mean they take all that shit very seriously, and there's no reason not to, because I mean it could.
People
maybe it's a
will
meme.
show up.
So-
Maybe it's a meme, and maybe it's real.
So
I
could
mean, yeah.
could they
Might have
deem
to
it?
beep that,
Could they
but-
deem it as a threat to the government?
Yes, that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying they'd put it,
It
in
is.
as
It's
martial
not
law.
like
It's
no
a threat to the government.
Threat to the government is not. There's no way that they could implement martial law, because people want to storm a military base.
Here's a question: is it a political ploy?
no
No.
It is purely a meme.
By who?
Either side, Republican or Democrat. Is it a
No,
By who?
neither side
I
has
don't
their
know.
shit
Come up
together
with-
enough to organize
yeah.
this. Are you serious?
Hey, I was just asking questions. I'm not saying
They can't
it
get
is.
their whole party to
But-
vote one way, let alone.
Right. True.
The Democrats are way worse than the Republicans were last cycle. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, we're not going to talk about politics here.
Open the book.
So we're going big book first, right? All right. So next topic: old people plus things happening. Joel, you care to explain that?
So
Oh boy, here we go.
let's let me
Here we go.
let me get out my paintbrush and paint the scene.
Oh, I thought you were getting on a soapbox.
You're
but go on.
you're 70 years old.
dead.
right?
I'm already dead. But go on.
You're in a retirement home.
By the way, Chris will get there before us.
yes.
Yeah.
God damn it.
No
Oh.
doubt.
To
Much
dead or 70?
sooner than us.
Well, yeah, it's
both.
Both.
Billy will be
All right.
Either
next.
way.
Long story short, how long do you think like something in a home happens where like let's say I don't like Trace and I trip him and he falls and breaks his hip, but he like cannot vocalize because he's old? How long do you think murders happen in a retirement home?
That's,
Or
How
how
long-
often?
Is it how long do you think
How
a murder
often?
takes
How
to happen?
often?
Or
No. How
that's actually
often?
a good
Okay.
question.
How often do you think like a murder happens in a retirement home where
but they don't know.
someone accidentally falls, but let's say, oh, we walked by each other and I tripped you, but you fell, you're in some sort of state where your body can't recover and you can't talk to say it was him, but I'm the one that tripped you and I ended your life. Do you think that happens a lot?
I'll scribble it out.
Do you think a lot of murder?
Yeah, but then
no, but let's say like
the people
you're
who work there are gonna be
immobile.
like, they've always had beef. He's gonna say whatever, and then
You need to keep
you
an eye
die.
on Joel from now
I
on.
will. I
no,
guess.
but
After hearing
let's
this.
say
He's
like
trying to kill
complete-
me.
like
But
completely
you
random.
got another
There
like
is-
45 years.
45
So
years.
Yeah,
yeah.
you got some time.
We're going to
Let's
60?
say there's like just random. Someone's like, "Fuck them, I'm gonna kill
What?
them."
70.
They just so let's say they decide to be a
Math.
murderer when they're older, like they haven't
So
been
they
to jail
spend
previously.
life
they,
in prison
they just,
for another
they just
5
happen
years.
to say,
Yeah.
but
It's the best time to do it, honestly.
how
Absolutely.
are there frequently retirement like homes that have cameras in every hallway?
I don't know.
I don't know that. I know that a lot of rooms have them, and that's how they catch people. But I think that if you were to track like stuff like that, because accidents happen a lot, and yes,
I don't
it may
Right.
be
think it's an
accidental.
army.
But I think
gonna
if
join.
you honestly wanted someone dead,
Russia. You
for
notice
you-
Russia
Draft
has
me.
a shit ton of people on that map.
you could potentially,
It's
if
probably
you wanted
fake,
someone
but-
dead at an older age, probably kill someone
Right.
and be less suspicious
It'd be easy.
than them. Right.
Well, easier.
So, do you think that happens a lot?
Maybe not a
no.
lot, but I think it does happen. I
I
think
think
that that's
STDs
something that
happen more in
Oh, yeah.
folks' home.
old people be fucking a lot.
They do.
And old people can't get pregnant and don't give a fuck, so they'll have gonorrhea until the day they die.
Right.
And herpes.
Curious
because
what
that's
that source is.
That's forever. It says Fast Company.
Well, yeah, I'm curious what kind of website that is.
It's probably not even. It's probably the whole picture's probably doctored. There's no way that
Yeah.
that's legit.
Well, that's
Somebody
why it's like,
edited a
look at
Wikipedia
Russia.
article.
Of course, Russia has like
No.
second most people trying to get in. We need the information.
They already no.
Joel,
Holy shit.
What?
Area 51 invasion force reaches 1.2 million brave souls, making the world's fourth largest army.
Wait.
It's
So that's
it's the
legit.
same article. It's the same
okay.
article.
All right, so you found the same
Joel,
thing.
I think that murder doesn't happen as often as you think.
When you're older.
No, but I'm sure it happens.
Keep going.
All right.
I'm
All
just
right.
saying though, like at an older age, I think someone older would be less suspicious to committing a crime than to someone who is
Yeah,
younger.
they would
absolutely.
they'd probably be like,
Absolutely.
oh, which one of the nurses did this?
But
Right,
let's say you
absolutely.
have dementia and you were like,
You
I were
don't
to
remember it.
do it, but then
That's a
it wasn't
legitimate like defense
me.
though in
That
court.
is.
You know what I
So-
mean?
Right.
But like, let's say you weren't even convicted because you were like, I don't know what happened, and it was accidental, and all these people start dying because
That would make you a psychopath if you faked dementia.
no, but if
Yes.
you
No,
had
the
it, but you
victim.
didn't
The victim.
realize.
Right, but
victim.
if you have it and then you're lucid enough to fake that you had an episode of dementia during the time where you killed Trace, that would be psychotic.
You would
No offense.
spend the rest of your life in a
All 6
mental
months of it
Yeah,
Right.
whatever it is. Well,
Until-
like Chris said, that's the perfect time to do
until
it.
the mental institute kills you. But all right, on
That's
to the
like-
next
I need
topic.
Proof.
Honey, I Shrunk some shit. Who wrote that down?
Me.
Okay.
That was me again.
Dun-dun-dun.
Brendan had the book. I thought he wrote something
I
down.
didn't.
right?
No,
Joel,
anything.
stop.
Just me. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Brought to you
Welcome to
by
the Thunderdome.
Bush
Boom, 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 boom,
Light.
boom, boom.
Britches. All right.
Brought to you by Square Bush Light, actually.
So, ooh, the new Bush Light.
Shots fired.
More conveniently packed.
I followed up that tweet with @Anheuser-Busch, please.
I saw that. PLS.
PLS.
PLS. I had shared this idea previously with Brendan. I wanted to talk about it last week, but couldn't bring it up as we did not podcast. But
We did
let's
not.
say a future technology to where if Trace and I were to drive separate but wanted to go home together,
That's
You-
the first thing that's in that article.
Nice.
had the ability to shrink your car, put it in your pocket like a Hot Wheel, and take it home with you.
Kind of like Ant-Man-ish. Because in Ant-Man, he has like the small version of like the
I have
van,
not seen
right?
it, but relative.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
But
is
like,
what he
so
does.
like a lot
Yeah.
of this time, like you and your significant other. Let's say you had to drive separate for some odd reason, but you met up and you were like, "Well, I wish we could just ride home together and shrink this car and put it in my pocket."
That would be perfect for when you get fucked up and your significant other drives you home. You're like, I don't want to come back
You
and
don't
get my
have to
car.
go get it. You could just bring it with you.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it brought up, it brought upon the thought in my head like car theft. It would be as easy as taking a Hot Wheel from somebody.
Yeah, but you'd have to have that technology to get it back to the normal size.
no, I'm saying like if it was universal.
Right, you just
And-
walk
yeah,
up
but-
and shrink
But
any
you
car
would,
and
you
just
would
grab
never
it.
have
So
to
then-
park your car. You literally just shrink it, take it wherever you want. Like,
People would just
I'm
be
going to
running
the
around
bank, I'm
shrinking
gonna shrink
things.
my car.
But there would have to be
Yeah.
so.
I mean,
You're
yes,
shrunk.
people
You're
are
shrunk.
people are about ready to run into a meat grinder at Area 51. You fucking don't think people are just going to run around and shrink random shit?
So I hadn't thought like deep enough into like the regulation of it, but I know like there would be the car theft aspect. And let's say like if you were to show that you had some sort of past with a car theft, then you would not have the ability to do that to a vehicle.
I say it's just coded to your keys the same way your keys are now. Like,
Right.
I mean, it would take me. I'd
So
have to
it
walk
w-
through every Chrysler 200 made in 2015.
So let's
and
say
maybe I would find one other car that has the same.
let's
code
say
as my
it would
keys.
like lock it to your vehicle,
Right,
like
exactly.
a hologram
Yeah.
technically, but you would take your
Yes.
vehicle with you.
Right.
And then when you like, so let's say like if you and your wife didn't want to ride together,
Right.
boom, shrink it,
Yeah.
take it with you. You get home, boom, put it in the driveway.
Right.
So what's
So
that
you'd have
movie
to
with
have your key or whatever
Matt
fob you use
Damon?
to do this. It would have to be coded specifically for that specific
So
car.
we're gonna say it's not like you.
So
shrink
if somebody
it.
else
You
grabs
legit
your shrinker,
make-
they could
you
take it
legit
and shrink
like
it.
send your car to the cloud and then take it with you home and then
No, that's a different thing.
replicate it.
What you've said is basically teleportation. The original thing that you said was just shrinking the original
Like
vehicle.
a Hot Wheel,
Right.
right? No, but
So
I'm,
you
I'm
have a
taking
physical
it
thing.
Further.
So you're taking it further and saying,
To
I want
say
to
that
upload
you-
my car to the cloud.
so that way I cannot take your car.
Right.
You are basically taking it digitally with you. And then
That's another 1,000 years in the future from what you said originally.
How do you know you're going to get your exact car back?
That's a interesting quandary about teleportation in Star Trek.
because we have the technology
No.
to
Listen,
replicate the same car to your driveway from Red Lobster, and you ate too many biscuits, so you brought it home.
What?
So the way that the transporter works
That
in
didn't
Star
make
Trek, you
any
know, where they say
sense.
"Beam me up, Scotty."
No.
They have an entire
Explain.
episode of the Next Generation that revolves
Explain.
around like an evil Riker or an evil Picard. I don't remember. Alternate universe people. But essentially, when you get transported in Star Trek, your entire being gets disintegrated.
So you don't exist.
You don't exist, and then you get reassembled.
Okay.
Technically, the
As-
reassembled version of you is a different person.
But you're
But you've
reassembled the
retained
same.
everything
Here's
that
my
you've learned.
question.
So what happens in this episode where they explore the alternate realities of transportation?
That's with
is that-
humans. That's not with an automobile. That's the same replication.
No, but
of-
how do you get like because everybody's car feels
I have
different.
no clue.
So what
Otherwise
if
I'd
you
do
have
it.
a lacrosse stick in there? Does it shrink? What if you have a trailer and you
All-
really don't want to haul it? So you shrink it down to the size.
Futuristically,
Is
all of the belongings
All
would do
of my decoys,
Yeah,
know,
all of
shrunk
it.
down.
It's
Then
just-
when I'm like, boom,
All of the
it's all
matter,
back in.
all of the matter there gets
it. Futuristically, yes. Everything
Turn into
Storage
data.
units would go out of business.
But
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, no, because I mean, there's still be people who couldn't afford the digitizing tech or whatever, so there'd probably still be storage
see, but
units.
but then you would take it to where I can do it to all my belongings,
That's
Well,
what
you're
Brendan-
talking about the movie
That's what Brendan
Downsizing.
just said, right? And that's the
which
movie
is
I was
like
just
Honey, I
bringing up.
Shrunk the Kids, but a
Downsizing.
non-digitalized, right?
Well, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was like the springboard for downsizing.
Right.
But like
That's what I'm
25
saying.
years
And then
But
previous.
like,
downsizing
let's
failed and-
say it was strictly like an automobile accessory.
Only your car.
You could only
Okay.
do it to like vehicles, boats, shit like that.
Oh,
Does
so
your, does your trailer go with it though?
yes.
Because your
If it's
boat
connect-
sits on
yeah,
the trailer.
If it's connected to your vehicle.
Oh,
can do
so
it.
you can just connect it to your vehicle and it
Yeah.
goes.
Does that go over the same thing if everything in the vehicle?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, we covered that.
That's what I just asked.
So thankfully, you wouldn't have to just because I have all sorts of shit in my car. Like I gotta empty my car every time I want to.
It's like the whole whatever your car and everything is connected to, and you could like not. If you did the Honey I Shrunk the Kids version, you would carry it in your hand, but I feel like damage would happen. So
Oh,
if
yeah,
you were
absolutely.
to digitalize,
So you'd
or
want to put it in like a
teleport
tiny little Pelican case that has
to where like
for
it
your
would
car.
go. It would let's say it would go in your key fob, and you would take your key fob with you. And
Oh,
when
so
you got
kinda
home,
like,
you would say, "Beep, replicate." There's your car. In the
Would it be
garage.
like this? Like here's your
Essentially.
car small
essentially
goes in this hard
boom,
case. Carry it with me.
covered? You
Yeah.
have it with you. As long as you don't lose your keys, you're fine.
Well,
But
I
if you
mean,
lose your keys,
even now without shrinking your car, if you lose your keys, you're fucked. So
Right.
it'd be the same position that you're
but
in.
just
anyway.
don't- but it's your whole car. Not
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, my car was stolen. No, it
But,
wasn't.
like-
You just lost it, you stupid ass.
But there would be like certain situations where like your car would have to be parked. You couldn't be like in traffic and be like, boom, shrink my car.
well, no, you're in
That'd
it.
be-
You would die.
Yeah, that would
right?
suck. Like now I'm gonna get run over.
Because then it would just be legit teleportation, and you
Yeah.
would just pick up and.
All right, that was an interesting topic.
But do you think it will exist at some point ever?
Yes, and I think that there's a real. I think at that point in the future, that will be so far past like data corruption being a problem regularly that it won't be an issue. What happens when you undigitize your car
Hey,
and it like glitches out and it's like
Ooh,
suddenly
that'd
your
suck.
fucking
You're
back
like,
doors
oh
are on
my
the
god,
front
I
and
got
your
a
front doors are on the
Ferrari.
back. Or that happens and you get somebody else's car.
You have a shitty Honda Civic, and then boop, boop, Ferrari
Will it-
untouched. Let's go.
Will,
And then
will it
this
shrink
rich
with you in it?
assholes like, what in the fuck?
I would
is
hope that would
this
be a
shit?
safety feature not to do that because how would you unshrink yourself? I guess your fob shrinks too. You just hit the button
Right.
again and it's
The entire thing shrinks.
yeah.
All the matter with it.
No,
Like I'm about ready to get hit by a train. I'm going to shrink my car down the way.
I think it has to be a car in park that you digitalize.
Yeah,
let's
but
say to your
People
key
do all
fob or
sorts of shit
something.
to their cars to like make the seatbelt
You're
warning
supposed to
chime
be.
turn
You're
off.
supposed to be
and-
I've
parked
done
when
that.
you're on
Or-
your phone too.
or-
but
The
All
light
right.
still goes off, but
people
it
driving
doesn't
down the
chime.
interstate on
I
their
want-
phone still.
I'm just trying to figure out how to make it not chime when my door is open because maybe sometimes I'm sitting there and my car's not running and I want my door open. Like
I think mine
fucking
still
stop
does it.
ding 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 ding
Mine
ding ding.
definitely
I'm gonna-
does it when the seatbelt's on.
with
When you
that,
take it off.
with Billy going off, do you think at some point, let's say there will be like a futuristic glove that will digitalize and you'll have a watch, a phone, key fob, and everything on just your glove that you'll wear?
Yes.
Let's say like all you need is you put your glove on and you go out, you have your phone, your watch, your car, everything you need.
I
It'll
think
be
what
all in
Trace
your
is
brain.
saying is probably more likely. It's,
I mean,
it's just
well,
going to be like
did
a
you see
neural
that
like
Elon-
implant.
Elon Musk is trying that.
I mean,
Trying to
it's
put a Bluetooth thing in your brain.
It's not
going
gonna
to
happen for another
phone.
100 years probably, and it won't be Bluetooth at the time, but it's the same concept, right? It's
yeah.
some sort of wireless tech. But there's no way that's going to be like really viable for
But
way
yeah, I
more
think it would rather go to your head, like inside your brain, rather than to your hand.
Well, the Japanese have
somewhere in your body. It would be somewhere in your body.
Right.
The Japanese had a music player to where you would use your tongue to change the song and increase the volume by lifting up or down or this. It was like an implant for your mouth. It wasn't an implant, but it was something that you put in your mouth that would
Got an
control the
implant for your
sound and
mouth.
everything.
Probably more for people who are like paraplegic or somebody who they can't use their arms or their legs to do things.
I know I talked about this because I saw a TED Talk, but Toyota has a thing where it looks into your brain and your thoughts, and it tells.
Oh yeah, we
like,
talked about
decides
this
what
like
you're
20
thinking about. Or
episodes ago
this,
or something like that, yeah.
It was a long time ago, but like
20.
it would control. Like if
Yeah,
you're
isn't
at
that
work,
weird?
it knows if you're thinking about what you're doing at work or if you're
Fuck
off on a
everything
tangent.
about that.
Yeah.
I'm all the way out.
That's bullcrap.
I am as much about technology and the the technological dystopian future as the next guy, but fuck having something in
I
my
knew you were
brain.
gonna
Fuck
say-
having a computer in my brain.
Knew
that
you
can
were
hear
gonna
it.
say is the next guy.
So, all right, we're gonna move on to the small book now. So my small book has
Perfect.
the first thing I have written is inconsiderate / selfish / unaware people.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but the number one problem, in my opinion, with the United States society anyway, is that people who are completely unaware of completely unaware of their own self. It's not so much about other people; it's that they appear to be unaware that there's anybody else in this setting with them. I don't know if the mic picked that up or not. If it did, I'll clip it out.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I it's with how many of
But
us.
people will they'll pull a card out at the grocery store. It's all small shit, and it's shit that I should not be mad about, but I get mad about. Like people will pull a card out and they'll just swing it around and I'm standing right here. You fucking hit me in the leg. Like really? It's really
Or
So you're
when
saying like
people
you
go,
have
like,
no physical
30 on the
representation of other
interstate.
people.
or that the only thing they're thinking about is themselves, and whether it's malicious or not, they have zero awareness of other people.
It's like, hey,
And
you're
maybe
gonna get
it's
somebody killed.
maybe it's
Drive
because
faster.
I'm so because of my whatever mental state, depression, anxiety, whatever you want to call it, but I'm so incredibly hyper self-aware of my being in another place.
Same.
If
Same.
I'm standing in an aisle in a grocery store and I think that I'm the tiniest bit in the way. I'm like, fuck, I'm in the way of everybody. Everybody hates me. What the fuck? Someone's trying to
Yes.
get past me. It's hypercharged. And I recognize that's probably a problem with myself. But on the complete opposite end, there was a dude. We were at the grocery store yesterday, and there's a guy who had his cart in the middle of the aisle, straight up in the middle. Not even he was not standing next to his cart. It was right in the middle. He was 10 feet away from his cart, looking at random shit, taking his time because people do that at grocery stores. I hate going to the grocery store for that reason.
I know.
Should have taken it.
I should have taken it, but he was standing there, and I
That'd have
rolled.
been
I rolled
great.
up with our cart, and I'm like, "Well, I can't go to the left or to the right, so I'm just gonna wait here until he moves his cart." Well, he gave me a dirty ass look when he finally noticed that I was standing there, and then he moved his cart out of the way. But he gave me a dirty look, like I was the asshole for
No,
waiting for him to
he
move
is.
his
He's
cart.
the one who's fucking leaving.
And
his
if he
cart
had
in the
stood
way.
there for another 30 seconds, probably a minute, without noticing that I was there, like, "Hey, can you move your cart for me, please? I'm trying to get by here."
Nah, fuck
there's
that.
no
I'd have
way.
moved it. He's already an asshole.
I know.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
it
probably,
down the
but-
fucking aisle.
So
that just talking to him would have given me enough of an adrenaline rush.
not
that
to
I would have
say
been
there's
able
a
to sleep
life
that
lag,
night.
but do you think they potentially live in a different time than you do? Do you think they might be 1 or 2
This
seconds
whole
behind
episode's
you?
brought to you by Joel Thought.
One-
1
you're
or
gonna
2
say,
seconds
are they time
to where you live
travelers?
your life, because
I work with a time traveler.
I am very hypersensitive about me, and I feel like I am 2 steps ahead of where I need to be at all times.
I mean,
And
there
then-
is some I don't know if there's science behind it, but I kind of feel what you're saying.
Whereas you're like, what are you doing? And then they get out of the way.
Or there's
Right.
just people that are fucking idiots.
I mean,
Which-
there are plenty of
yes,
those.
but
Just
Just completely oblivious.
just
completely dumb.
oblivious.
They'll just throw their car in reverse and just floor it out of a parking spot.
Right.
Like, dude, there's people in this parking lot.
right there.
Never mind that I'm in a car and I would be fine if you hit me with my car. My car would be totaled based on the speed you were going out of this fucking parking spot. But what if there was, a family of 5 walking by and you just crushed an 8-year-old kid? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Look and fucking pay attention to your surroundings before you do shit.
yeah, and then
it's
they get
fucking
mad at
simple.
you for honking your horn.
Right.
It's not
Oh,
nearly
fuck
as
you.
bad as that, but when you hold the door open for somebody and they don't say thanks or nothing. Or
All right. Yeah, that's fucking annoying
I
too.
I literally want to go stop them and slam the door in their face.
Hey,
Right.
try
Fuck off.
working in the service industry and being like, "Hey, what do you need?
What?
I'll take a Bud Light, please." When do we lose the fucking manner.
And I mean, there is a way to say that without saying please, though. You'd be like, oh, I'll
take Bud Light.
I would like a Bud Light,
like
or
a Bud
could I
Light.
get a Bud
Along with
Light?
what you said,
Oh.
I've been in the fast food line and heard the people in front of me, and like, I was at Taco Bell. What can I get you? Oh, I'll take a number 3. I cannot stand when people say, I'll take a. Like, could I please get? Yes, I understand. But old guy in front of me said, I'll take a this, and then I'll take a Diet Coke, and I'll take this. I'm like, homeboy.
What about can I get a?
What about
Yeah,
could
that's
I
what I
get? Could I get
Oh,
a?
he just kept
No, that
saying, "Can I take?
bugs
We'll take
the hell
a."
out of me.
Or I mean, even
we'll
at
take a. I was like,
the
I think-
rudest I'll get is they'll be like, "Hi, welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get you?" I'd be like, number 8. Like, I won't say anything.
No,
I won't
right,
preamble it.
just-
I'll just say like what I want. Like, that's the rudest
What
I'll get, and
about-
even that's not that rude. That's
Do you
just
ever
Right.
catch
What about
yourself
give
saying,
me?
all the time, 100% of the time.
easy.
The
I've-
weird thing
I've
is the
even-
only time
I've
I don't
even-
do that is when I'm presenting to a large crowd.
I've even
because I had
mentally-
it beat out of me by my speech teacher.
I
in
pulled
high
up to
school.
a drive-through and mentally told myself, "Don't say don't say
and you're like,
What can I get you? Can I get
I want to say that's almost a Midwest thing. That goes along with ope and all the other like Midwestern like memes.
Ope?
The like because they like Midwesterners, they want to be straightforward, but they also want to be rude. So they like they want to break up that timing. So they're always like, can I get a number 8? I'm good. I got
Right.
another full one right here. Nope. Now it's just I think because I wrote this 2 weeks ago, or not almost 2 weeks ago, because we didn't actually record a podcast last week. So I wrote that down, and I don't remember the exact situation I was in, but there's always a situation that comes with it. And it's always the unaware people are mostly the people that are getting onto a highway. Like, they're never doing the speed that you're supposed to be doing on the highway. And I had somebody, I pulled onto the highway. Oh, that's what it was. I remember now. So I pulled on the highway. I take 75 north to work. And I get onto 75 at a place where the speed limit is 70. Right? So, and I drive kind of a fast car, so it's fun to floor it when you're going onto an on-ramp. Like, that's
Right.
pretty much what I do. Brennan knows. He drove a show for a while, so
What?
yeah, you had
I never broke the speed limit.
you can floor it without breaking the speed limit.
Yeah,
Can you break
okay.
it? Can you break it if you don't know what it is?
Sure.
If you
I mean, you
ignore
still
it.
get pulled over and
If
get
you
a ticket
ignore
for
it.
it. Trust me, I have personal experience with
Ignorance is not above
that. Ignorant,
the law.
yeah. Well, unless you're the cops, then it's
Well,
fine.
yes.
Then you can be completely ignorant of the law and still be, fine if you're a cop. If you're a person though, fuck you for not knowing the entire penal code. But anyway, so I was trying to get on the highway.
Penile code.
Yes.
I'll show you my penal code.
Hey,
It's a short one.
let's get on the highway, and this on ramp is probably about an eighth of a mile long, right? So I probably about a third of the way onto the on ramp, I merge on the highway because I'm doing 70. I'm doing the speed limit on the highway. I don't need the full on ramp to get there. I'm just gonna get onto the highway. Well, the person behind me flashed their brights. I'm like, I can't tell if they were flashing their brights to tell me, "Hey, you're good," or "Hey, fuck you, asshole, you cut me off." Even though there was like
See, that's
4
hard
car
to
lengths
tell.
between me and the car behind me.
Yeah.
But they flashed their brights as soon as I made it on the highway. Like, what's your problem? Is it because I
Yeah.
didn't use the full ramp? Because that's not what it's for. Like, you
Right.
use the
I
ramp
bet-
until you can get to the
So
speed
it was
that you need
probably-
to be at.
it was
It doesn't
probably
even need to be the speed
ignorance.
limit.
It was
just needs to be like, because there have been times getting on to 75 from Cornhusker is always a clusterfuck. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's in the water on Cornhusker Street, but getting off and getting on to
Oh, yeah.
getting off of 75 and on to 75 at Cornhusker Street, like, seriously, it is bad. Like, every time. The speed limit is 70 on 75. Doesn't even matter if it's rush hour. Right around Cornhusker Street, you're doing 50. Guarantee it.
True.
For no fucking reason. Because people are like, I got to get in this lane because I got to get off on 370. Like, fuck you. You've got another mile and a half until you got to
Right.
get off. Just take a second and think about it and then put yourself in that lane. Well, I was getting onto Cornhusker, and wouldn't you fucking know it, people in the right-hand lane hanging out 50 miles an hour. So I can't get up to 70 and join this lane because otherwise I'd be causing an accident. So
Right.
I get up to 50. I merge on nicely. I see there's nobody in the left-hand lane. I floor it and go around everybody else because I still got 20 miles an hour to play with. So, of course, I'm going to fucking floor it. But, yeah, people who
Get him.
are unaware of their own, like, self and all the things that they are in control of. So that's driving. That's when you're in a grocery store. That's if you're standing in line. Whatever it is, people who are fucking unaware, that is the worst. That is my biggest pet peeve.
I was legit getting on the interstate the other day, and there's a blue maybe an S10, old S10, whatever it was. I
Was
don't
the
know.
one that parks itself in front of my
Low.
house?
Rolling slow. It was going 30 miles per hour to get on the interstate.
It's not even legal.
So then I honk, right? I'm like, go. You're going to get us all killed.
Right.
Like, not just you. It's going to be me. It's going to be the person behind me, and we're all going to die because you don't want to drive. I honk. He gets over and literally does one of these guys. Like, he just, like, flips me off and doesn't look, you know? So I just throw my hands up. I'm not going to... He's old as fuck. He probably doesn't know where he's going.
Right.
I'm going on a Sunday drive, and it's fucking
they
Tuesday.
Need it, though.
Yeah. So
And I'm like,
here's the
"Eh,
thing.
Fuck you, man.
Doing 15 over on the interstate, 20 over. Let's just go that high. Because that's getting into felony territory in Nebraska.
That's what I do every day.
That inherently is not dangerous.
Wait, what?
Doing 20 over.
No.
Oh, I do that constantly.
Every day.
I will do 90 or some days 95 on my way home.
Yeah.
So
Like tonight, I will probably hit. What time is it? I'll probably hit 95 on my way home.
I will not.
Because it's
The
empty
speed-
as fuck.
the speed is not inherently what's dangerous. It is the unpredictability.
It's when you
is what
you
gets
come
people
to a
killed.
sudden stop.
It's
That's
people
what's
slam on their
dangerous.
brakes on the highway, and it's people who drive 20 miles an hour below the flow of traffic, not even the speed limit. I don't care if you're doing 70 and if you're still 20 miles an hour slower than the flow of
you're-
traffic, you are a problem. You're going to
If
cause
you're
an
in the
accident.
fast
You're going to kill
lane
someone.
and you're doing over the speed limit and someone comes up behind you, you
Get
still
the
have to
fuck
get
out of the
out of
way.
the fucking way.
As soon as
Oh,
you
oh,
can.
I'm going faster. I don't give a fuck. You get out of the fucking way.
You get out of the way. And the only objection I have to that is you get out of the way when you can.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to move over from the left-hand lane if I'm doing 10 over and some asshole wants to do 20 over behind me if I have to
And
slam on
there's
my
someone-
brakes to
no.
get in the right lane.
No way. Yes.
I'm not.
Although
I'm
at the
not
I
same
still
time,
pressure the fuck
if
out
you're
of
not-
them.
That's fine. I understand that, but you should not use your brakes on the highway unless it is a fucking emergency.
If you are not in the
Right.
act of currently passing somebody, you shouldn't be in that left lane to begin with.
Amen.
I'm passing a bunch of people. I'm
Hey.
just not going as fast as the asshole behind me.
Hey,
No, I know that, but unless there's no reason. There's 3 lanes in most of the interstate in the
Not
city
where
of
I
Omaha.
go,
Most.
unfortunately.
On the
He said-
interstate.
He said most. Not
I know.
all.
I
most of the
take
interstate.
480 every
Generally
day.
30 lanes.
Generally.
The middle lane's
Generally.
okay.
Not always, though, Joel. Not
Oh,
always.
but
The
generally.
only
But generally,
reason-
not always.
The only reason you should be in the left lane is if you are going faster than somebody that's in the middle lane.
Love you.
Sure.
Yes.
The middle lane is actually a safe place to be if you're in a city you're unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
Stay in the middle lane.
Hey, McCoy. Something I saw on Facebook this past week was a meme with Luigi looking all pissed off driving Mario Kart, and he said, "Does anyone else drive past someone and look over at them to see if they're as stupid as
Yes.
they are driving?"
Yes.
And like, every time I pass someone
God.
going 30 or
Yeah.
whatever,
I'm like,
I
what
look
the
over and I'm like,
fuck?
"Are you stupid? Like, what the heck?" A lot of the times, they're either old, handicapped,
Or new to driving.
new to
I
driving.
had
They're
that
like
the
fucking
day
12 years
before.
old.
We were driving to Applebee's, and literally this car was going 20 on 84th, and I was like,
It's been a lot of teenagers for me
I'm like,
lately.
what in
Or-
the fuck?
Or they are drunk as hell, and you can just tell by looking in their window. You're like, "Yep, you're fucking toasted."
What kills me is when people go 5 under the speed limit.
That's
Like, they'll-
that's suspicious.
If it's 45,
That
and
is
they
cop
sit-
bait
Very
right there.
suspicious.
If it's 45 and they sit at 40, it is enough to inconvenience you to like. "Brah! It is 45. People, drive your gosh darn car."
Right? It's ridiculous.
No, it's this mostly, and again, I know that it's probably coming from an unfair spot because I've always been very self-conscious in every aspect of my life. So, from my perspective, I have always been hyper aware of that. So other people should also be hyper aware of that. It's unfair, but at the same time, fucking just think for a second.
But
That's really
Right.
all it boils down to.
to go along with that, I think I am very hyper aware, and like there are times I don't know. So, not to praise the genius, I've never done like an IQ test, but I think I just live in a sense where like I think things should be done before they realize they need to be done.
I'm usually the only time I'm usually that far ahead of myself is like when I'm writing or when I'm like speaking.
Right.
Is my brain works faster than I can
And I think
articulate it. So I run into that a lot with that. I don't run into that with anything else.
I incur a problem.
I'm pretty
I do
stupid
that
otherwise.
all the time.
I incur a problem with other people when I think that they should do something that I think they should do before they think they should do it.
Right.
To where like if I was like, do this, and
That's
Matt
why
was
you're
like,
so
and then I was like,
goddamn
why haven't you
competitive.
done it yet?
Yeah.
That's why I'm competitive. 100%. That's why
was
I'm
gonna say,
competitive.
That's exactly playing competitive gaming. That's literally
I mean, I can get because I've played
Everything.
competitively
everything.
with a couple different games, and it's the same thing where it's like, oh, you're thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead of what
If-
they're doing.
if
You're like,
you-
why the fuck didn't you do that? You fucked yourself. You're stupid.
If you don't move at my pace, I think you are inferior.
Right.
That's how I feel. Not
Yeah.
to be disrespectful.
And if anybody moves faster than
But
you, they're a psycho, right? Is
Yes.
that how that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're,
Okay. Yeah.
They're freaking stupid because they're
Sweaty.
moving too
Sweaty. It's sweaty.
Sweaty.
Yeah, they're a psycho.
Cheese.
Says
They're
the guy
just
sitting on
cheese.
the couch with his shirt off.
Yeah.
It's 98 degrees outside, and it's
fucking
freaking
cold.
And we're
10 o'clock
inside.
at night.
Yeah. It is
like
way too goddamn hot
40
for
down here.
how late it is. It's too
My
much.
feels good.
My armpits still smell good.
So what were we talking? We were talking about.
Different.
Oh yeah,
No.
you were fucking with my reality earlier, talking about like, well, what if this, that, and the other thing. I don't actually even remember the exact what he was talking about.
He's not wearing pants. I know.
Ah,
what the heck?
Camouflage shorts.
Get the fuck out.
So you guys, have you heard about the 7-Eleven baby?
I have the same hair.
What?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
7-Eleven is 7-Eleven on 7-Eleven is 7-Eleven on 7-Eleven.
Yes. So born on July 11th at 7:11 p.m., which is technically 1911.
He was 7
but
pounds,
whatever.
11 ounces.
7 pounds 11 ounces, which
That's
is
military.
almost as
Not
much as I
everyone's
weighed when
military.
I was born. Believe it or not, I was 7 pounds 10 ounces, and look at me now.
Still 7 pounds 10 ounces.
Still the same. I was a fat ass baby, and look at me now.
No,
but
you call that fat? I was 8 pounds 10 ounces.
well, you were
That's
fatter
fat.
than
calling
me.
yourself fat.
What were you, Matthew?
I mean, I've
Couldn't
seen
tell
baby
ya.
pictures of
Oh,
myself.
come
I was
Billy?
a fat ass baby,
Billy?
Billy, you and your kid.
Yeah, Billy.
like
Actually,
10 pounds plus.
No. I was only like 7 pounds 10 ounces.
No
when I
way.
was-
Your
Hey.
kid was
I'm
10.
calling bullshit.
No, I
Your
was.
kid
I
was
was literally-
almost 11 pounds.
Rachel was the one that I was actually the bigger baby. William and her weighed the exact same when they were born.
Damn.
How
Literally
much?
The exact same.
How
9
much?
9 pounds 15 ounces.
Oh, that's it.
Cheapers. That's like that episode of
I
Family
weighed
Guy
4
where
pounds.
it's legit like an elephant
preemie?
coming out of Lois.
Nope.
Are you pregart?
Pre-guard.
Are you pregnant?
Pregnant?
Pregnant.
I
Am I
that guy that
pregnant?
makes fun
I
of him.
hear your gosh darn voice every time I watch that video.
Pregnant.
It is you.
Absolutely.
Pregart?
No,
And
4
you do that
pounds. I was
same.
in the NICU for about 10 days.
So
How many
you,
pounds?
You weren't premature.
But your name's Trace.
No.
You were just
That means
small.
3.
Yep.
So you should have been.
You all know my dad, right? His forearm. He's small, like he's
You-
short like me.
Yeah.
I was the size of his forearm.
But
my
your
uncle's
name-
shoe was bigger than me.
Your name should have been Quattro.
Well, what's funny is we went golfing with Zach on Sunday that we all went to school
You
with. I
should have
didn't
been-
say his last name. But he goes, you remember when we used to call you Cinco or
Is it-
Quattro?
is it who I
It's
think
like,
it is?
Yes, yeah.
So the 7-Eleven baby really
Yes,
really
no.
really fucks with my perception of reality
Why?
because there's
Joel's gonna die. Give him a Ric Flair. Give him a Ric Flair.
how about a White
Give him
Claw?
a
Can I
beer.
interest you in a White Claw?
Give him a Ric Flair. Right on his Spartan.
A McFlair.
I said Rick. Hey,
So the 7-Eleven baby
Can I
really,
get one large McFlair?
really fucks with my reality because that's not
What the?
that's not something that happens unless you're like doing
Thank
it
you,
as
Billy.
a meme. Like the 7-Eleven baby is the same level to me as the Area 51 raid. Like it's all memery.
Yeah, not far off.
So like somebody's just like bored and they're like, we're in a Sims game and they're like,
Well, you got.
I'm gonna make this baby
it's
born
real.
on 7-Eleven
No,
at
you
7-Eleven
can't pick that.
with
You
7-Eleven.
don't think that has
you
ever
don't-
happened
you can pick
before,
that?
and it's
Billy, you
just there
can't
wasn't a
pick
news article about it.
Maybe it
I
has,
just told
but
you
it
you
still
can't
seems
pick that.
far too coincidental. Because maybe a baby was born at what we consider 7-Eleven
I'm
p.m. now, and 7 pounds 11 ounces
Or maybe they
on
were
a day that
Why'd
we
you
consider to
drop
be
your
the
mic?
11th of July, but they were born in like the 900s,
Or
so
maybe
there was no
maybe they were
calendar or
born on
whatever
like
the fuck.
5:10 at 5:10 p.m.
yeah, there's
at
somebody else.
5 pounds 10 ounces.
Hey, do you want to know something fucked up?
It
One,
just seems
one-
weird. It's just too much of a coincidence for me.
1 of 01
at the
at
511
with
or
my
at the
belief system.
510 convenience
What
store,
was that,
wherever
Billy?
that is.
I can't hear you. Your mic's not up.
I said you can tell when you get bored of this.
Hey, you want to know something fucked up?
He takes his mic off his stand. Is that
And
what
he
you're-
starts
No,
fucking
he starts
around.
making every fucking noise possible.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
And, like-
he hates being he hates being interrupted, but he interrupts every other fucking.
Everybody
I hold my
interrupts
finger
everybody.
up. I hold my finger up.
Then you interrupt.
In 3rd grade,
Hop, hop, hop,
Hup,
hop,
hup,
hop, hop,
hup.
hop, hop. That's you right there.
Hop,
That's you
hop,
right
hop,
there.
hop,
That's
hop.
how you know Joel's a teacher.
So in third grade,
excuse me, everybody, quiet.
Guys, my finger is up. Y'all need to shut the fuck up.
Argentina.
I
So-
have the talking stick. Shut your fucking mouth.
So thinking back, second grade
Yeah,
was
second
when
grade. Second grade.
9/11.
Wait, first you said third grade.
Yes, I'm getting there. Second grade was when
Backstory.
9/11 happened. Third grade was when we wrote a report.
Wait.
Hold on a
Wait,
second, what?
Third grade was when 9/11
Oh my
But when
fucking
did
God.
7-Eleven
What?
happen though?
Yeah, you guys are you three.
I'm getting
Four.
there. Let me talk.
Third grade.
Oh, welcome to our
Third
world.
Third grade. Sorry, third grade was when 9/11
I don't
happened.
speak
Continue.
Third grade.
Second grade.
No,
Third.
third grade.
Second. Thank you.
I was in Miss Bollinger's class.
I was just-
I was in second
Third grade.
grade. Thank you.
Well,
were
then
held
you're
back?
Special.
So
God, I
all
feel
y'all.
old.
It was third
Let
grade.
Joel tell a story.
So-
Second
Third
grade.
grade is
The only thing that this whole story boils down to is I had written a story about 9/11,
But was it
and
a manifesto?
how it occurred on September 11th, 9/11
Yeah.
at 9:11 in the morning.
No.
That was a big lie.
So you lied. Okay.
9:45 in the morning.
Was it
It was like
9:40?
10
It was
o'clock
like
something.
8 something. I
Yes,
thought.
it was
Wasn't
way
Well-
way sooner.
Oh, it was
In
like
New
10
York.
o'clock Eastern.
something for
But-
us.
For us.
But
but it was
Yeah.
9:45.
my story that I had written sounded good to me because I had made it at 9/11
Facts,
on
Joel.
9/11
Facts.
at 9/11. So
Holy
the
shit.
7-Eleven. Oh.
So I just Googled 9/11, right?
Oh.
So that I can look up the time.
Joel's about to be so validated.
No, hold on. And the first auto fill from Google
Oh.
is 9/11 year. Who the fuck doesn't remember what year 9/11 was?
People
Are you
born after
fucking
9/11?
kidding me?
Oh man.
Jesus.
Hey,
Well,
I don't
my
know if you
hope-
know this,
yeah.
but kids born after 9/11 will be 18 this year.
Yeah, that's sad.
Oh great.
My whole thing was like
Thanks,
I wrote
I
it
feel
at
older. You're
9/11
welcome.
on 9/11, whatever 9 whatever. But
Was it
nah.
911 words long?
It did not relate to the 7/11, which was a whole different story where everything adds up. But my story was I tried to correlate all of the 9/11s with a 9/11, 9/11, 9/11 to kind of make. I was in like 7th grade. It was a whole conspiracy.
Were you bored?
Yes.
What is
Going on here?
I read a book.
Did you write Did you write an episode of Doctor Who?
I read-
like
New York
this is a
Times.
central point in
Nine-
time.
I read a
New,
book.
New York Time, 8:46 a.m.
Oh, I was.
Wait. New
That's-
York time. It was
that's
8:46. Was in the first
was
plane
the
hit.
first plane.
Sorry.
8:46
Our
So
a.m.
it'd
time-
be 7:46 our time.
Hey,
Our
do you
time, they're
remember it though?
hour
They
ahead.
rolled TVs
We're
into like
behind.
our classroom to watch.
They're ahead.
Yeah. So you motherfuckers are slow as fuck. Because, and I say this because everybody who I've talked to who's from Nebraska, who's talked about 9/11, has been like, "Oh, we were already in school." And it
No,
was like 10
I was
o'clock, and
at
I
the
rolled the TV
babysitter's
in.
house
Oh,
before
yeah,
school.
I was almost ready. I was getting ready for school.
I
and it
was
on
in
the TV.
class,
And the
they
second-
brought the TV.
No, that's
Yeah.
a fucking lie.
the second
No.
one was at 9:03.
So you would have
I
been in
was
school
in
then.
class.
But people always
That's
talk
why-
about how
That's why we.
I
that's
was
how
at school because
Did we
my
start
we
school
remember
at
at
8?
school.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it was 8 or
No,
8:30.
it was like 7:45
not in
for grade school. Yes, it
Not
was.
in elementary.
Yes.
Put it this
Swear
way,
to
I
God.
know it was on the TV at my babysitter's house before we left for school.
I was
And
in class
then
when they brought the TV
In
out.
class,
Yes.
they announced that recess was canceled, and that was the worst part of the day.
Right.
yeah.
At least for
I
my
w-
third
I went
grade
home
brain.
to go to Eric's house, and I was like, "I'm going to Eric's." My mom's like, "No, you're not," and I'm like,
Oh,
"Why the
yeah.
fuck not? He lives down the
Right.
street." My mom's like, "There's a terroristic act coming."
Yeah, my mom wanted me to pull me out of school because she's
I was like,
oh my
Your
God.
mom pulled you out of school in fucking high school because we're having a fake MS-13 attack. I need to be taken out of school.
What? I don't think that happened.
No, but I was
Yes, it
pissed.
Y'all
did.
motherfuckers are living in the past. I got home from school and then I learned about 9/11.
in elementary
That's
school, I
because
was
you were in
pissed.
Germany.
Hey, shut
'Cause
up,
I
you.
learned what happened, and I was like, "All right, I'm going to Eric's."
Future.
Mom was like, "No, you're staying home," and I'm like, "What the? Why?" I was like, "Let me go down the street."
The
She's like,
What the fuck,
There's-
Janice? Why
there's-
can't I go to fucking my friend's house?
The planes
There's
are gonna get
terrorism
us.
in this
Mom's friend- or your
country.
mom's name's
Her
not
name's
Janice.
Teresa. Have some respect.
You mean your own government perpetrated that? Yeah, that's cool.
Bush did 9/11.
Have you seen those time traveler memes recently where it's like
Uh-huh.
time traveler and lands in whatever year, and it's like, oh, they ask a question.
What
and
happened?
yeah, I saw one, and it was, oh fuck, I can't even remember it now. Bad tangent.
Huh.
The
right.
basis of it was Bush did 9/11, but I can't
Cool.
remember what the
Yeah.
yeah.
Facts. Big facts. What is this? What am I? Oh God, really? Huh. I mean, he did ask.
Might be good. He's gonna do a remix with everybody.
I'm always surprised that she's still alive.
Who?
Dolly
Agreed.
Parton.
Well,
Dolly Parton
duh.
posted on Twitter with a pink horse that said @Lil Nas X in order to do a remix with Dolly Parton.
And Lil Nas X actually
Old
already
Town Road.
asked. He mentioned Dolly Parton specifically, so it's not like
He said,
that's not completely out of
So
the blue.
you're gonna
but-
make the song 100 different times and say?
Yeah,
at the
haven't
top
you
of the
seen the
charts?
Twitter memes?
Yeah.
2 days ago he tweeted, and I quote, "Y'all think I can get Dolly Parton and Megan Thee Stallion on an Old Town Road remix?" And Dolly Parton tweeted from her verified account with 3 horses.
And one of them's pink.
Yeah, because she's running out of fucking money.
Is the pink one? I doubt it. She
He-
owns Dolly. What are you serious?
Yeah.
He's
she
gonna
owns all
ride
that.
that shit out
He's
gonna-
forever.
He is gonna
Ride
do
that
a
until
remix with
she can't no
everybody.
more.
Can't no
is,
more.
is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
He will remix it and remix it and remix it until he runs out of people, and people are gonna keep listening to it. So fuck
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
why
you've
not?
seen the memes, right?
I mean, it's a great
Yeah.
money play for him.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure. Why not?
I enjoy hearing different versions of it come out.
You mean I can release another one and make more money on
He'll
this one?
keep-
That's
yeah.
the
Hey, whoa.
exact same thing. that just
Eventually, one
happened?
of those is
Careful,
gonna keep
DJ
climbing
Khaled.
up the charts.
He's gonna do Bruno
Another
Mars.
one. I'm surprised he hasn't
That'll
done
do
Bruno
good.
Mars already.
He will.
It's coming up.
Bruno
Yeah.
Mars is collaborating with fucking
He
every
will.
like
Go,
up and coming
kid.
artist. Who? Bruno Mars?
Yep.
Obviously. Are you serious?
Has
feel like
it
you're
been
saying that
remade
like it's
to
a
metal
revelation.
song yet?
I don't know. Check Leo's
Ooh.
YouTube page.
Who?
That'd be
Leo
cool.
Hold on.
or / Frog Leap Studios, one or the other.
What's
If-
the next one,
If not,
Chris?
what's the ETA on it happening?
I give it another 3 weeks until there's a metal remix.
I
Of the-
guarantee
of
there's
the
probably
original
already
version.
one
There's
already.
been a meta remix. I've
Has
heard.
there?
of it.
He
Oh,
has
yeah.
not done one yet.
Leo
no.
is not well, and it hasn't been done yet.
What?
Leo's the authority.
Nobody else matters.
Damn.
Oh, never mind. I
Oh,
take
wait.
it back. He did 2 months ago.
Oh shit! Really? Huh? I'll have to listen to that.
Play it.
Sorry, Leo. Don't sue us.
Soon.
He's from Norway. He's cool.
I don't know if we can play this.
Probably not, but
I don't think anyone's
we're already not
going to
monetizing our
come
YouTube, so
after
who the
us.
fuck
True.
cares?
Sue us for the $200.
Yep, that's definitely a Norwegian saying those words.
Does he have rights to this song?
I don't know how he does his covers, because usually you have to pay.
You have to have to record it.
Or change it just a bit.
Well, he changes every cover he does. He adds like a little interlude where he does like a solo.
If you're doing it exactly, you have to have rights to it to record it. You can play it live however many times you want. You don't
Right.
have rights to it. But if you're going to record it and release it like that, you have to have the rights.
And
And that's the
actually
same.
those-
And what Trace is talking about is how Weird Al gets away with it because he changes the song
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
that he doesn't
But and
legally
also
have to have rights to
getting the rights to record it is a lot cheaper than getting the rights to like play a different artist version of it.
Right.
Right.
It's
exactly.
it's not very expensive.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Well,
to
my
do a cover.
buddy, who actually just started listening to the podcast, the drummer of a band, Saravo. I won't say his actual name, but the drummer of the band Saravo should be enough if you wanted to find him for some reason. He's not on Twitter. We'll call him listener number 13 for arbitrary reasons. But his band covered 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago on their latest
Help.
album. And they're not,
Someone help.
like, they're fairly successful, but they're not a big
Send
band by
help.
any means. So I think that it's got to be cheap enough that they can afford to do it.
All right. So, in your opinion, what is the best cover of a
Old Town
song that you have ever heard?
Old
Billy
Town
Ray,
Road.
Billy Ray Cyrus. Old Town Road.
You're not allowed to say "Hurt" by Johnny Cash because that's just cheating.
You're not wrong, but
That's cheating.
because it was so good that even the lead singer Nine Inch Nails said that he owns that song now.
I mean, yeah. When the original singer of the song turns it over
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
cover artist,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
No, it's a great cover,
Um,
but
There's a lot of covers though. Like a lot of famous people did covers that people don't think are covers.
Oh, yeah,
there's a
100%. I
couple.
mean, even
there's a couple
some
really famous Adele
classic-
songs that are covers.
classic
Right.
rock songs that are covers that.
Like
So-
one of the absolute best that is "Sign of Silence" by Disturbed.
Oh yeah.
That's a
I
really
think
really
they
good
did
cover.
a really good job with that.
Yeah.
And
So I
I
prefer
think,
that. I prefer that version to the original.
And I think
So.
Five Finger did a really good job with.
Which one? They've done about 12 covers.
No,
so
I
which
know.
one?
I really
Well,
do like. That's the only.
They are very good at doing covers. I will give them
Well,
that.
I don't like
is
Five
he-
Finger Death Punch if I'm not listening to one of their covers. I prefer
it's-
only their covers.
Bad
I don't
Company?
really like the rest
Yes.
of their Bad
Sorry.
Company.
House of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising Sun
no,
is good.
Bad Company. I
Bad
think
Blue
Company's
on
the
Black?
best though.
Well, Blue on
Blue on
Black
Black's
is
pretty good,
a
too.
really good one too.
Gone
I
Away.
agree. Gone
Ooh,
Away is also
Gone Away
one.
is really good.
That whole album just
Those
like,
are all off of different albums.
No, I know,
They-
but not
they
the last two.
basically-
The last two are off the same
They
album.
basically do like
One
I
or two
guess
covers
one or
per.
two per album.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
how I do
usually
it if
one,
I was a
but yeah.
band. That's really fucking cool. Jesus Christ.
So
This is kind of an obscure. Sorry, Joel. I
No,
just
you're
wanted
good.
to continue
Go,
on this,
go,
on
go,
this
go.
tangent.
Go,
Zombie,
go.
Zombie by Bad Wolves.
That's
That-
also really good.
that's
That
really
live
good.
is
Yes.
fucking awesome.
And that's awesome. Like what they're doing with it. Like they're not
For
benefiting
Dolores,
on it
yeah.
whatsoever. Every bit of money they make from that is being given to her kids.
Yep. That is really awesome live. I had an opportunity to see them when I saw Saravo. They were on right after Saravo, and that was
You
a
also got
fucking
to see
great
one
show.
of the bands that me and Matt should have went and saw, but oh no,
I don't know
Gotta
about
go
that.
Double up.
I don't think you actually saw
What are you
them.
What are you talking about?
Fozzy.
Shinedown? Oh, Fozzy. I saw kind of part of them. I wasn't a fan of Fozzy live. I like a couple of their songs, but live it seemed. I don't know. It seemed. I know he's a performer. That's like literally what his entire background
He's
is.
also not the best singer in the world.
Yeah, it
No.
seemed. It,
That's
it
how I
wasn't
don't
great.
know how he's gotten so big.
It wasn't great.
Editing.
Yeah. So a cover that I really enjoy is a cover of Little Lion Man, which is originally by Mumford and Sons,
Mhm.
Yep.
by a band called Tonight Alive. The song Tonight Alive has a female vocalist, so the song being sung by a female vocalist
Okay.
kind of puts a new twist on it, and just they're kind of like a Paramore-ish style band.
Okay.
So if you have an opportunity to listen to it. I think it's a really good cover. I don't know if it's the best one that I could pick. I do listen to a lot of covers because I really
Same.
enjoy hearing a different take on a specific song. And for depending on the song, that might be the cover might be the only reason I know all the words
Yep.
to the song. So,
I Prevail did a really good one of a Taylor Swift song.
Blank Space.
Yep.
Yep.
Toxic Lullaby did a really good cover. Static Lullaby did a really good cover of Toxic by Britney Spears.
Have you heard?
That's also really good.
We were just talking about it last week. Simple Man by
Yeah.
Oh, Shinedown.
I would
Shinedown.
put that as my
They
number
did.
one.
They did
Yeah.
awesome with that.
Yep.
Sorry, Joel.
No, you're good.
Metal band covering like pop song. What's the band name? Ice Nine Kills did a cover of Someone Like You by Adele. That one- that
I've
one's
heard
really
that as
good.
well. There's also a fucking somebody did Set Fire. No, yeah. Fuck, I can't remember the name of the actual Adele song. I'm gonna dig through my covers playlist real quick. Joel, go with what you wanted to be. You've wanted to be saying because you've been on hold for about 5 minutes.
USA.
Two quick things. One, I don't know if any of you are Bowling for Soup fans. Have you seen the poundage increase that they have made as a band?
They got fat fast, and
They
one
are
dude started fat.
What?
Jared was like stick, and now he is like just fat as fuck. Like you would be like, holy hell, how is that the same guy?
Drugs.
Just unreal. And my second one, I know it's kind of obviously explainable tangent, but yeah, when you get time, look up Bowling for Soup because they have put on a lot of weight. Second one was like, and I don't want to get back into like trademarks and bullshit like that, but covering songs. So when you cover a song, you give the credit to the original creator by singing the same words to the song, right? But you're a thief when you steal the beat for a song and kind of make it your own song.
When you don't
Yes.
credit the original
Because
artist.
there was a
Credited.
big I want to say lawsuit with Robin Thicke saying that he stole a song from like the 70s or 80s or 90s where he had to owe money. I think it was like $2 million because they said he took the beat from a previous song. But how do you would that be like a copyright law for a song to where like if you wanted the
Yeah.
beat to my song, you have to use this, whereas like now Spotify people put beats out there, and do they essentially sell their beats to a big time like rapper or producer to where they use
Well,
that
we kind of
song?
talked about this. You know somebody who made a song with a beat or a hook or whatever, and it got stolen by a major artist,
Yeah.
and
It's
they didn't get
very
credit for
hard-
it at all, and they didn't get
it's
any sort
very hard to
of
prove,
compensation
though.
for it. So I doubt that there's anybody out there selling their beats
Because-
because why would you buy a beat when you can just take it from some small artist
But
for free?
it's essentially anyone can make a beat, right? So it's he said she said for whoever made it first,
Right.
Right.
But at the
I
same
wonder what would
time-
happen if like somebody would patent something like that though.
But what makes it
would
okay
never-
for
it
someone
would
to
never
cover
fly, I
a
don't
song?
think.
You know,
Is
so-
it because you're singing the lyricated full song?
It's because you bought a license to cover the song.
So let's say if you write a song, is there a certain legal thing you need to have to prove that is your song?
Right.
I think the combination of that specific music with those specific lyrics is that song.
But is there a legality
a
that
big
you need to
difference
say that is
when
your song?
generally, if you record a cover, you do not make profits off of a cover.
Let's say you're a cover band in your
Unless
working-
you buy a license to be able to sell it.
Yeah, to sell
right.
it specifically,
So-
yes. But taking somebody's beat, there is no credit going to somebody else. You are taking 100% of those profits.
So
for
if
that.
you're a cover band and you work, let's say, at a small off whatever site, and you make money for singing another place's song, obviously you don't have to.
if
The
you're
only way you're
credit-
legally
Live-
allowed to make money for
Live
that
does
is
not
like,
matter.
well, live
you-
doesn't matter,
when
but if
you're
you're as a
recording
cover
it.
band record
Yeah.
your covers, you're not allowed to make money on that. You have to sell it at cost. You're not allowed to
Yes.
make money on that
Right.
unless you buy a license that says I own a production license for this
Right.
song. Because you buy it from the artist directly,
I can distribute
depending on
this
what it is,
music.
or from whoever owns the music. So
So
Sony
if you're
or
gonna sing it
or
live,
Warner or whoever,
if you're gonna sing it live, like locally,
then who cares?
It doesn't matter.
It's not recorded. Doesn't matter.
you're just playing live
Yep,
music.
doesn't matter.
Correct.
From
Yeah, that's
another
why a
band.
lot of like if you go to a country like concert, a lot of them go this influenced me, and then they play part of it,
and then,
and then
go
they
their
go
own
to the
route.
next. Well, and then they go to the next. This also did, and they play part of that.
Which
and
I
part of that,
understand,
and
but
That's
part of
called a
that.
medley, by the way.
But that's what confuses
Right,
me though, is
but-
that like I know you're gonna give credit to someone. Like if you were to cite something in a paper and say this.
Well,
is
they
this,
technically do that because they're like, hey, Garth Brooks influenced me by this song.
But how can you claim like a beat and then get away with saying, "Oh, that's my beat," and someone can write a whole.
I mean that
Because you
different
produce
song.
it.
that gets into a
But
he
you're
said
pro-
she said
they,
battle.
they write a
It's-
they write a
it's
completely
really tough to
different
prove.
song.
And it honestly completely depends on how popular the song you stole it from was, which is why the whole Queen and Vanilla Ice thing was a big deal, is because Queen was obviously, fucking obviously, and that song specifically, well, that wasn't even just Queen, that was Queen and David Bowie. So it was two of the biggest artists of the 70s and the 80s versus fucking Vanilla Ice. Are you serious?
But
and
there-
somehow they, like, that was a wash. So, like, it's very hard to, like, prove that.
There's even times now where if you were to slow it down and change it up just a little bit, technically you make it your own, but it's the same beat from
Well, that's
another.
what I
And
was
one
saying.
part of another song is not enough to prove
Right.
that you stole that song from them,
Right.
because you could use the same drum beat, because like in punk and really that's it 30
So
30 seconds
there
okay.
is
It like punk and metal and
T-
jazz, they all have like basic drum beats, and like
Today-
a lot of songs use those same basic drum beats, but nobody's claiming anybody's stolen
today.
songs.
There's a singer called Young Gravy that'll use the intro to a song. Is there a certain time limit where
Young
maybe you can get away with it?
I think there is, but a big part of rap, and that's another thing why rap has kind of gotten away with it, a big part of rap has always been sampling.
Because he
That's
plays
been like
he
the
plays
entire foundation
the
of rap
beginning of,
since
like,
the beginning.
Mr. Sandman, give me your whatever dreams
Right.
or whatever, and then like it cuts, and then he gives his
I
own
have a good metal
whole
cover
rap.
of that.
You know what I'm talking? Cheat codes is what it's called. But he
I'm just
uses
saying, a
he
metal
uses
band I
like
listened to did a cover of that song.
potentially 20 to 30 seconds of a song, cuts out, and then he does his own rap. But
Right.
you hear it and you're like, this is catchy. Obviously, it's been used before because it's a popular song.
And
And
that's
then
why
he
rap
just runs
uses
with it.
samples of hooks and stuff from
So
other
you
places.
take other people's stuff, use
But
it
the
as your
reason
own.
why it's allowed
Hmm.
is because you've expanded on it. You don't just, it's not just a copy, and it's why like reaction videos on YouTube are allowed to exist.
So is there
because
a
you've
certain-
taken the content and you've expanded on it?
Is
You've
there a
done
certain
something
point
to
where
improve or otherwise change the base content?
is there a certain point where like if it goes viral enough, then it's like then I can claim so and so about this song.
I
And
mean,
you
somebody
can't
might
use
start
it.
looking into it, but like Billy said, that a lot of them don't really have much of a legal case because it's really subjective.
And
it's not
even
like,
if you do have the legal case, most of them don't have the money to
Because
pay
I
for
don't know how
lawyers.
the
Right.
Robin Thicke thing turned out, but it was like a $2 million lawsuit or this or that or whatever. But
Yeah.
that's
it's
where
it just really depends on if the person who's doing the suing has the resources to continue doing
Correct.
it. So, we actually accomplished all of our topics this week. Oh, I guess we
But
didn't.
that's all right.
We didn't
We'll
talk
save
about.
it. We'll
We didn't
save
talk
it.
about that one. We'll see how that pans out because I'm
Yep.
sure in another week we'll
That's-
have more information about it.
That's
So,
fair.
we gave a shout out to my buddy, which I wrote down. We talked about all the things in the big book and the little book.
Hey, that same buddy.
more or less on time.
That same buddy talked to you about our little gift, I guess, if you listen to the podcast that you'd get.
Well, he didn't mention anything to me.
You asked me about it.
No, I said, did we set up a challenge?
Oh.
And you said yes. And I said, well, he might have found it,
Oh, right.
but
right.
he did not message Brendan, and he did not message
and he's
me.
also a friend of the podcast.
He's
Yeah,
also a friend, so he might
that's
not be
fair.
eligible
That's
anyway.
fair.
So,
We're
to
shooting
be
for,
fair,
like, randos.
to be fair, he did ask. He specifically asked, "Hey, what's your podcast?" And I
did.
sent him the RSS link, and
He did.
he subscribed to it. So, to be fair, he sought it out organically. I did not force it down his throat, but he is also a friend of mine.
That
So,
wouldn't be the first time.
I do. The only thing that we didn't cover, and this is fine because it needs to be a separate thing, is I do, and I mentioned this before. I do want to have like a mental health cast because we've talked about it before. I think it's come up every time we've had like a Joel thought, and we get a glimpse into how fucked up Joel's brain is. We're like, maybe we should have a podcast where we talk about some mental health for just a second. But if we were gonna do something like that, we'd need to plan it in advance, and like I would want people to be prepared, kind of like the conspiracy cast where we had like a couple things to talk about each. So I don't want to like just
we
spring
still
it on
haven't
people.
really done that.
No, I mean we should revisit that.
If for some reason you follow us on Twitter and enjoyed watching the soccer match commentary that's been going on, let us know if that's a good thing or a bad thing so that it can continue or not.
Yeah, I keep getting notifications, but it's always from people who are on the podcast already who've liked it or retweeted it.
Well,
so
I don't think
I
our
need
other
some-
two
I need some
followers really
diverse-
care that much.
No,
so.
no. I need some diverse opinions from that. So,
All right, cool. Thanks. Bye.
Trace, yeah, where can you find us?
Damn it.
You can find us.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Matt.
I'm going to
But
open
you
this
can
laptop
find
and
us
it's going to be like, oh, it stopped
on-
recording an hour ago.
YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Play, Libsyn. Where else can you find us, guys? Twitter and Instagram. Go follow our Twitter. Go like our Instagram. Go follow our Instagram. The challenge is still out there for the last couple episodes.
I think
So
it's
go
expired by
give
now.
it. Hey. Keep it up there. Maybe
Unless
we'll
you're
get some
paying
more
for it.
people. Fine, I'll pay for it.
Eventually,
Let's
Trace,
go.
I'm going to make it easy on you. I'm going to buy a domain and it's just going to be, hey, find us here.
Yes.
And then we're done.
do
so
it.
you don't have to name off 7 different things.
Perfect.
Good night.
Good
Call the
night.
police.
Bye.